done. Hey everyone, I'm Hava Schultz, and today I'm gonna give you 5 strategies on how to be productive at home every day. I think the tips are pretty simple, but it's gonna be up to you to apply them. So a word of advice before we get started on the productivity tips is that you need to know why you want to be productive. Why do you wanna get done what it is that you wanna get done? Is it to meet a certain goal or deadline? Is it to just pay your bills? Whatever that is for you, kind of figure it out because you need leverage on yourself to actually take these tips and apply them. I'm gonna assume that you already know why you wanna do whatever it is you wanna do, so let's get into the tips. Also, I don't want it to be kind of weird if you catch me glancing down or to the side. I have my notebook where I put some notes to make sure that I tell you everything that I wanna say today. I honestly don't want this to be just another boring talking head video, so throughout the video, as I share each tip, I'm gonna try to do something to make this video more interactive and fun. Of course, my energy helps, but I'm gonna try to be creative on this one. I don't know exactly what that's gonna look like, so we'll see right now on tip number 1. It's only suiting that we sit at the desk for the first tip. Wow, that is bright. My desk is in front of a window. Okay, first tip. I hope you don't mind that this is not on a tripod. I am just holding it. We are up close and personal. The first thing you need to do if you're working from home is set a routine. For me, I'm gonna put a sample right here of what I'm currently trying out, which is both a weekly routine and a daily routine. Depending on what you do, you may only need a daily routine, but I have certain themes of what I do during the work block of each day. So that's why I have a weekly routine as well, so that each day has a different theme. But this is especially important if you don't have a formal job. So if you're like me and you just graduated and now you are kind of hard pressed to find a formal corporate job right now, with whatever it is you're doing to be productive during this time and whatever goals you're still going for. Because by the way, just because you may or may not be able to get a job right now in a formal fashion doesn't mean that you can't keep going for something, whether it's career related or not. You should definitely continue to have a purpose and some sort of meaning you're working towards. Side tangent, sorry. Also, if you've been recently laid off, you might find yourself doing different things. And who knows, maybe even what you're doing during this time is looking for a new job. I'm not really sure. And if you're watching this sometime later, of course, there's plenty of other things you can apply to this, and you may even be an entrepreneur, whether that's now when this video is coming out or later down the line. Still, being able to set up a routine and plan your time out is going to do wonders for your productivity if you stick to that schedule. And of course, I'm assuming that after watching this video, you will, because the plan's not gonna work if you don't stick to the plan. This is gonna help you avoid time from just slipping away. And on that note, it's gonna be important that you know what you need to do. You need to know your tasks for each day. I like to check off my tasks as I go, and I do everything I can to get them done. And something I started doing actually just as of 2 days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, I just started something where I write down at the beginning of the day the top priorities for the day. If nothing else gets done, these things must get done. And I'm finding that so far so good as far as actually accomplishing what I must do. And then also I plan for it and I make sure I'm ready each day so that I can get that stuff done. For example, on a day like today where it's a film day, I allot a little bit of extra time to do my hair and makeup because that's gonna help me get things done for this day where my goals are mostly to film videos. And I don't pile as much on to certain days like Thursdays because I spend a good hunk of my time tutoring virtually, which is my money-making side gig. And so that's something that I just kind of want to note, is that make sure you know what you need to do and prepare to make sure you're ready to do what it is that you need to do. Before tip 2, I honestly have to go to the bathroom. I will be right back. We're back now, but I think we should go somewhere else for tip number 2 just to make this a little bit more interesting. So when I'm coming up for this video is each tip we will change locations. My second tip for you is to avoid distractions, because distractions derail you, and so having to constantly switch gears is gonna not only possibly suck time, but definitely take away from your mental energy. So that's something that you wanna make sure that you identify and then eliminate. A couple of examples: social media is something that I definitely avoid, because even though I'm not even a person who will get sucked in for too long, 5 minutes is 5 minutes that I switched into that and I have to switch out of that, and it's just not a good idea to be getting off track even for a short period of time. I avoid social media unless I'm actually using it for something I'm intentionally trying to accomplish. Like if I'm intentionally making an Instagram post, which is part of building my personal brand, that would be the exception to the rule. Another thing, and something you may or may not find is a problem for you, but I actually struggle with certain music. I usually like to work in silence unless it's just some sort of low jazz, kind of calm, but working conducive music, because I find that a lot of songs make me want to sing, and dance can be really distracting because then I have to fight myself from singing, and then if I do start singing or listening to the words, I'm definitely not as mentally engrossed in whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing. So even things like that, listening to music helps some people stay on task. It may distract for you. So just notice what it is for you that is distracting you, and yeah, fix that. That wasn't very articulate, but you know what I'm saying. Identify distractions and get rid of them. Tip number 3 is something that I've actually had mixed feelings on throughout time. So I used to never take breaks because I felt like it really broke my momentum, but now I actually do take breaks, and I take calculated breaks. So I specifically use that time to refuel and recharge, because if I'm just going, I do find myself kind of like, and that's my sign that it's time for a break. And you might find that it's good to schedule specific times for your breaks, but I actually don't have specific times. I just kind of have a rough idea of how many of them I'm going to take and how long each one is going to be, because the time that's convenient is going to change based on what work I'm doing each day. So that's just my personal situation, but you could set specific times if that helps keep you on track and also prevents you from sort of taking advantage of your breaks and letting them slip too long, or they probably won't be too short. But I do find sometimes it's hard to kind of get back into it because a break can be fun, but as far as being productive, you kind of got to get back to work. I forgot to tell you exactly where I am. I am in the corner of my room, so it's kind of just this white wall, this empty space, but to give you perspective, there's the rest of it. We're in the corner, but we're about to move because we're going to tip number 4. For tip number 4, we're just gonna like be here standing in the middle of my room, because tip number 4, which is probably in every productivity video, is to move. You need to move to keep that blood flowing and keep yourself alert throughout the day. And of course, it'd be great to get some regular exercise when you're lifting weights or doing cardio or whatever it is, but if nothing else, just get up, take a little walk. Honestly, lately, that's the best I've been able to do, is go for walks. And also stay hydrated, because that's actually gonna help with your movement. It may not help with your, exercise and stuff, but if you're hydrating, like right now I'm working on 64 ounces of water a day, and I'm doing a decent job at it. Well, I have to get up and go to the bathroom every so often, and someone I heard recently speaking said, what's so bad about that? It literally gets you up and moving every so often, which again gets your blood pumping again. And is it so bad that your body is purging toxins? I'm like, no, it's not. It's purging toxins, and because I have to go to the bathroom, it's helping me move. And especially working from home, it's so easy because you can go to the bathroom. You don't have to be worried about if someone thinks you're slacking because you're going to the bathroom so much, or if you're being paid by your time. You don't have to worry about people feeling like they're getting gypped a couple of minutes because you have to go to the bathroom. So I find it's really nice as far as staying hydrated and going to the bathroom that way. And then also, I'm just like moving here because I honestly haven't moved much today. And so this is very helpful, and it makes sense during the move section of this video. Let me just check my notes to make sure that I said everything. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that. For the 5th and final tip, we are back on my bed, and the 5th tip is to eat light and eat frequently, because if you eat something really heavy or you eat a lot at once, the blood is going to be pooled in your stomach, and you really need the majority of that work going on in your brain, because I'm guessing you're doing brain power work. But if you are doing physical work, well, you still probably don't want it in your stomach. You want it in your arms, your legs, depending on whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish. If I do eat something that's too heavy or I eat too much, something that helps me is chewing gum and then also going for a walk. So just trying to move through that and work the food through my system rather than taking a nap, which then of course I lose that time to the nap, and also it might slow down the rest of my activities when I wake back up later. So definitely don't go for the nap. I go for that. It's very rare that I take a nap. While we are on the topic of that, I did happen to take a 20-minute cat nap yesterday, but it's super, super rare for me to take a nap because usually I wake up feeling more tired than when I went to sleep, so I find that it's counterproductive. Also, as far as finding a light, healthy, productive meal, I do have a video on how to make avocado toast in 5 minutes. So by going to that video, you can see a quick, easy, and yummy meal, if I do say so myself, because I know you still want to eat healthy and you want to eat light, but also you don't want to spend a bunch of time slaving over it because obviously you're trying to be productive at probably something other than cooking. So there's an idea for you. Check it out. I'll also put it in the description below for you so that you have that. Now before you go, I have 2 questions to ask you. First is, of course, would you please show your love and support and go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button if you got some value out of this video today. And the second question is, what are productivity tips that I didn't mention but you would recommend? Go ahead and put those in the comment section so that we can all help each other out. And until next time, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.